Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you could join me here today. What is it? It is May Day. May Day. That's a day. Cheers. We got something interesting to talk about today. We'll get to it in just a second. I am very happy here, and looks like I got my second camera working. How about that? Now I don't know why it's so dark. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's talk about RFK Jr. He dropped a bombshell today. It's a no spoiler pledge. Hey, that's right. That is right. Oh, I got to change this. Here we go. Boom, boom. Spoiler pledge. That's right. Bobby's throwing down the gauntlet to Joe Biden and the Democratic establishment. He's saying enough with the spoilers, folks. Let's keep it clean. It's like he's the referee stepping in to break up a political street fight, if you will. Now, for those of you wondering what a spoiler is in politics, it's not just a movie plot giveaway. No, it's a third-party candidate who swoops in and F's everything up. He screws up the whole thing. That's how we got Clinton. You know, like when your friends suddenly suggest to add anchovies on the group's pizza. It's just not right. But Kennedy's pledge isn't just about pointing fingers. It's a bold challenge to the powers that be. He's saying, hey, we're not going to let the same mistakes happen again, and you got to respect that kind of gumption in politics. And let's be real, folks. Kennedy's not doing this for his fame or his fortune. I don't know, maybe he is. No, I don't think he is. He's doing this because he genuinely believes in fair elections. You know. I was trying to remember fair elections. I can't think of you know, the fair elections that we always have every single time we have an election. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, so President Biden, ball's in your court. Are you going to rise to the challenge and ensure a clean, spoiler-free election in 2024, or are you just going to let the same old shenanigans play out? Either way, Bobby's made his move. It's up to you. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey Nuance Show, the least watched censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Oh, this was a big one today. This was big. I don't know if anybody watched it. I watched it on X. I had to refresh it a number of times. I'm not sure what's up with that. With their video streaming platform, I couldn't get a consistent thing. I just had to keep refreshing it. But this was bold. Let me tell you about it. So yeah, RFK Jr., he's urging President Biden to commit to his no spoiler pledge, where both candidates would fund a nationwide poll. Weakest candidate in a head-to-head matchup against Donald Trump would drop out before the election. Kennedy argues that he performs better against Trump than Biden does. His campaign manager compared internet polling to national polls. Kennedy, initially a Democrat, is now an independent with Nicole Shanahan as his running mate. Ballot access has been challenging. Polls show Kennedy's inclusion affects Biden's lead over Trump. What? According to some polls. Trump criticized Kennedy as too liberal and being a Democrat plant on Truth Social. But so this is what happened earlier today. In fact, it just got done. The speech just got done, you know, like an hour ago. So I've been working on exactly what I was going to say. But here's how it goes. They put together a presentation of showing that the polls are being used to mislead people about what's really going on with the race. And if you look at the polls that are out there now, the way it stands, Trump should be the winner, kind of by a long shot, by a lot, on election day. Now, of course, that's far off into the future, so things can happen. But that's the way it looks now. And what they did is they funded a poll, and they did a 50-state poll, and they used 10 times as many people as most of these polls that do. So their margin of error was less than 1%. It was a very, very good poll, depending on how these things go. And what it showed was that Kennedy does much better against Trump than Biden does. And one of the things that we hear out in the media all the time is that ambulance is rolling by my house. Oh my. What threw me off for a second there. That Kennedy does much better against Trump. In fact, maybe Kennedy might be able to win against Trump. But here's the thing. If Kennedy drops out, Biden still loses. Well, the media has been telling us, has been referring to RFK Jr. as a spoiler. And that's actually not true. When you look at what a spoiler is, technically, right? A spoiler is a third-party candidate that doesn't have a chance at winning. That's what a spoiler is. And that same candidate then takes votes away, and it may affect the outcome of the election. Well, as it turns out now, based on this better poll that they've done, that the real spoiler is Joe Biden. That if Kennedy stays in the race or Kennedy drops out, either way, Trump's going to win. However, what they guess is that if Biden dropped out, that Kennedy could win. So if you are really against Trump, if you think that Trump is an existential crisis to the country, that democracy will end if Trump takes office, by the way, I don't believe that. But if you are one of those people that buys the mainstream narrative that the country is over if Trump wins, that fascism will just roll in, we'll never have an election again, all the other hyperbolic statements that you just hear in the media. If you actually believe that, then you should be pushing for Joe Biden to drop out so that Kennedy could win and it wouldn't be Trump. It's a bold play. I like the move. I like the move for this. It's tough because I have been seeing lots of... It's tough because most people don't follow the news, right? And even if they do, they don't really follow it. I would say a lot of people don't even know that Kennedy's running. Look, most people just... they don't know anything what's happening. I'm pretty disappointed in a lot of things that Kennedy has done in his campaign. Frankly, I feel that I could run a better campaign than whoever he has running his campaign. And I tell you, one of the biggest things that I don't like is, and this has been this happened with Bernie as well, right? These kind of a lot of candidates when they run for office, you got to really look at all things that represent you, right? The way you run a campaign. If you can't run your campaign right, I can't really expect you to run the country right. I think that's fair, right? You need to be able to run your campaign right. And for example, I bought a Kennedy t-shirt like a year ago, okay? Like a year ago. Back when he was still on the Democratic Party, I bought one of his t-shirts. So, like I got hooked into the, they started sending me emails and whatnot. And then after a while, I'm getting an email like every day, and it's essentially send me money, send us money, send us money. That's it. There was nothing like, hey, talk to your neighbor about this, or here's something that you can do to talk to your family about RFK Jr. No, it was none of that. It was just like, send us money, send us money, send us money. And I had to unsubscribe, right? Well, guess what? If you've got people that have sent you money unsubscribing from your email list, you're doing it wrong, okay? But it's the same thing. I mean, it was the same thing with Bernie. It's the same thing with a lot of candidates that run. I got to tell you, Trump's emails, I think, are pretty good. He will ask for money, but there's also other things that there's positive messages in it. He reaches out and shares some positive news, things like that in a lot of the Trump campaign emails. I think just based on the emails alone, right, I think the Trump campaign is doing a much better job on connecting with people over campaign emails than the Kennedy team. But whatever, it is what it is. But this was a bold move. Essentially, they did some math and they figured out that actually the real spoiler is Biden by all the definitions. And the challenge is, hey, 1 month before the election, we will hold a big poll to find out who's doing better, Kennedy or Biden. And whoever's doing the worst pledges to drop out and not be a spoiler. That's a bold claim. That's a bold pledge to make. Now, here's the thing. We know that the Democrats are never going to drop out. They would never pull their candidate. It's never going to happen. So in that case, I like it because you're challenging someone to do something that you know that they're never going to do, but they look weak if they don't do it. So for that, it's a win. How this plays out, it'll really all depend on the coverage for it. And I suspect that most of the corporate media will not cover this. When I did an immediate search, I think I did find an article from like Washington Examiner that got something up right away. Some small news sites, published a story right away about this spoiler pledge. But I doubt this is going to make the front page of the New York Times. Right? That's my prediction. This will not be this should be on the front page of the New York Times. My prediction is that it will not. And the thing is, if news doesn't get out to most people, did it really happen? Right? If a tree falls in the forest, did it make a sound? That's the old question? Well, if you make a challenge to Biden and none of the corporate media report on it, did it really happen? That's the question. Anyway, we got a number of stories to get to today. We'll just roll through them, and then I will go through all your comments on YouTube and on Rumble. So stick around for that. Thanks everybody for dropping by. If you can, give me a thumbs up. It lets me know you care. To keep going, Tom. Keep going, Tom. So if you can do that, it means more than you think. Anyway, let's get to this next story, talking about Bitcoin Jesus. Who? What? This guy. This guy, right here. Right. Hey, nope. That guy right there. That's Robert Ver. He's an early Bitcoin investor known as Bitcoin Jesus. He's been arrested in Spain on charges of evading over $48 million in taxes, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. The charges include mail fraud, tax evasion, with an indictment filed in federal court in Los Angeles. Ver, who renounced his U.S. citizenship in 2014, is accused of providing false information about his cryptocurrency holdings and companies' valuations to tax authorities. Prosecutors are making a bunch of BS claims. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Prosecutors claim he failed to pay taxes on gains from the sale of 70,000 Bitcoin in 2017, totaling $240 million. Ver's lawyers deny the charges and states his intention to prove his innocence in court. Justice Department intends to seek Ver's extradition to the United States. So what has happened here? And this is you're going to hear, if you look into the story, you're going to hear a lot of nonsense, okay? What happened is he bought all this Bitcoin a long time ago. And he was one of the owners of a lot of Bitcoin right at the beginning. And the fluctuations were all over the place way back then. Okay. And I think he determined that, this could be worth, billions of dollars. I think I should renounce my U.S. citizenship and get out. Well, the way that it works is you declare all of your assets at the time of renouncing your U.S. citizenship, and they tax you on that at that point. Okay. And but it's very difficult to come up with an accurate, to accurately know exactly how much that Bitcoin was on that day. And now you could say, okay, well, what was Bitcoin trading for at the time that he renounced his citizenship, right? That would be the fair way of doing it. But no. They didn't do that at all. What they did is they speculated that it could be a whole lot more. And even though he went through all of lawyers and accountants and said, okay, let's tell them exactly how much we have at this point in time. This is what the tax should be on it. The U.S. government waited 10 years, just under the statute of limitations, to file this. It looks absolutely shady by the U.S. Department of Justice. He gave as far as I could tell, he gave all the information at the time. And what they're saying is, hey, at the time, the U.S. government thought that what you had was worth this much, but we were wrong. We think it's actually worth this much, and we need you to pay tax on it. Amazing, right? That's what's going on. So that's my kind of back of the envelope math, not even real math, just my cursory look at what was going on. And the ridiculous thing is that if they forced him to sell the Bitcoin at that time when he was leaving the country to find out exactly how much it was worth, if he were to do that, it would have totally crashed Bitcoin, right? It would have totally crashed it. So yeah, this whole thing just looks like a money grab. And I suspect there will be a lot of government money grabs in the future. They're getting desperate. And so they're reaching out and doing all kinds of what, in my opinion, look like really shady techniques. Waiting till, like, literally the week before the statute of limitations runs out to file this. Come on. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm sure they'll get some kind of settlement. And this will go out into the media as, tying Bitcoin to money laundering and tying Bitcoin to people trying to evade taxes. And it's just a way to sully the good name of Bitcoin. Anyway, that's my take on it. But what do I know? I don't own any Bitcoin. Yeah. All right. Next up, we got some more. I don't know. This is vote buying? No. This is student debt cancellation. So the Biden administration recently approved the cancellation of over another $6.1 billion in student loan debt for 317,000 borrowers who attended the art institutes, which shut down due to misleading practices regarding job placement rates and salaries. This action was taken under the Borrower Defense to Repayment Program, offering relief to those defrauded by their college. I think we all kind of feel defrauded by our college, don't we? President Biden highlighted this effort, emphasizing his commitment to addressing student debt. Nearly $160 billion with a B in debt for 4.6 million borrowers has been canceled under Biden, comprising 10% of federal student loan debt. This announcement follows investigations into the Art Institute and its parent company. Eligible borrowers automatically identified will have their debt wiped away, pause payments, and removal from credit reports. Although the Supreme Court has already struck down Biden's signature forgiveness program, debt relief continues through existing and new initiatives targeting specific borrower groups with proposals for further relief in progress. So, yeah, just giving it away. Sound cut out? No, back on. Okay. So yeah, it's been struck down by the Supreme Court. He's not allowed to do these kinds of things, and they just keep doing it. Right before this election, let's give away as much money as possible, hoping that this will get some votes. That's my take on it. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. It's tough when they just start canceling debt. If that's the case, you know, can I get a payout? You know, I'd like a payout too. And let's make and I would say that taxpayers are paying for this, but this is all just deficit spending. This is all just created out of nothing. And essentially, this is contributing to the inflation that you see every day. It has to. That's how economies work. Right? When you just print money out of thin air, let's look at who gets paid here, right? The banks get paid back. So the banks get paid. Okay. And then who pays for it? Oh, everybody, because now everything is more expensive and your savings are a lot worth less than they are. Okay. That seems fair. I don't know. And I mean, even back then, whatever, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want to victim blame or anything, but everybody should have known the Art Institute was lying when they said you were going to make so much money being an artist. You know, I think they had the things where I got to stop because it sounds like I'm blaming people that had high hopes and that were optimistic about being an artist and taking classes at the Art Institute, and somehow they were going to get a big career out of that. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to put those people down. So anyway, they all got their loans paid off, and now, you know, for many things, for many items at the grocery store, inflation's up 100%. But don't worry about it. I'm sure the media will tell us that it's it's very little. Very little, I'm sure. Anyway, next up, a little study from France with more obvious news. So, yeah. Oh, did I not get that? Hang on. There we go. A report commissioned by the French president recommends strict guidelines for children's screen usage, suggests that smartphones should be off limits until age 13, social media access until age 18, and limited under 18 for those with ethical thinking. Toddlers should avoid screens altogether before age 3, with controlled exposure thereafter. The report emphasizes holistic adoption of its 29 proposals and highlights concerns about the impact of technology on children's mental health and susceptibility to harmful content. It urges further research on screen addiction and the need to protect children from manipulative tactics used by tech companies. Wow. Yeah. Tech companies using algorithms to manipulate the way kids think, I don't know, you don't really need to look any further than, what's happening on college campuses today. I think that is straight up coming out of social media, right? And, people looking for something to do. I really doubt that half the people at those things could pick out Gaza or Israel on a world map. There's other things that come into play too, such as the funding of these protests that are happening nationwide. But this is interesting with France. They've done the research, they've done the science, and they've determined that kids using smartphones is not good for them. Could have just asked me. Or you. I think this is pretty obvious, right? This is pretty obvious for anyone that this is not a good thing. I think many of the ills today are from the tech companies' algorithms that are set to just capture children's interest. And it's not really healthy to sit there all day doom scrolling. Right? Something we all know, but I think it would be very difficult as a parent to take a phone away from a kid. Good luck with that. I think if I were teaching school today and I could not keep a phone out of the classroom, I don't know how I could teach a class. Do you remember Tamagotchis? Do you remember the little toy that it was like a little toy pet? Well, I was teaching school at that time, and I had kids playing with it, and they would pull it out of the desk and, do the little whatever they had to do, like burp their pet. It was like a digital pet or something, and they couldn't not use this stupid little digital pet. I can't imagine what it would be like today with phones. And I can't imagine a school, and I know this is the truth, but schools that would allow kids to have their phone in their pocket or in their desk during the school day. Seems insane to me. Seems absolutely insane. It should be you walk into the classroom, they have a little box, and you go and you put your phone in the box, and they shut the thing. But I've seen clips online, and just all the kids got their phones at the desk. Little kids with their own phones. It's got to be bad. It's got to be bad. So anyway, I'll just say with this subject, I'm probably really out of touch. I'm probably really out of touch. But good luck getting the phone back from a kid. Good luck. Even if all of the evidence says that it is detrimental to their health. There are a lot of other things that are detrimental to kids' health, and we don't seem to do anything about that, right? Look at all the obese kids today. All of the, the pushing of processed foods on kids, the poisonous foods on kids. All of that, terrible for kids' health, and yet it's promoted everywhere. So I don't think anything's going to change with the phones either. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you a little information on what they found out in France. Speaking of health, I got some other health news. So Walmart, largest retailer in the U.S., is shutting down all 51 of its healthcare centers across 6 states and discontinuing virtual healthcare services. This move marks a significant shift in its previous strategy of expanding into healthcare to provide convenient and affordable services, particularly in underserved areas. The decision was driven by financial challenges and escalating operating costs. The closure underscore the broader struggles in primary care provision, with shortages of physicians expected in the coming years. Now, despite the setback, Walmart will continue to operate its pharmacies and optical centers nationwide because those mint money. Oh, I'm sorry. I added that. I added that part there. um, well, I didn't know that Walmart had health centers, so I guess I'm not in one of those states that had that. But and obviously, I wouldn't think that Walmart health clinics or centers would be top tier. But I can see how this would be very helpful, especially for communities that might not have a health center. You know, they get a Walmart health center put in, access to health care or health services, going in for a screening, going in for a checkup, those types of things, or having lab tests done. Good thing all around. You know, we want to know what's going on with our health. So I think anytime we have less competition and we have less services, especially for places that might not even have services anymore, now that these Walmart health centers are leaving, that's not a good thing. But they pretty much said this is a money-driven decision. They're like, well, we make lots of money on getting people glasses from looking at their smartphones too long, and selling them drugs. We make a ton of money off the drugs, but we don't make as much when we put a center in an area that doesn't have a health center. So whatever. I don't know. I don't really have much thoughts on this. Sad if that was the only health clinic you had in your community. One, it's sad that the only health clinic you have is a Walmart health clinic. But two, even worse, that now you don't have any. That's even worse. Yeah, what's worse than no Walmart health clinics? No clinics at all. You know? So I don't know if that's a sign of things to come. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. And speaking of Walmart, let's go to their other company today. So Sam's Club, same company. They're implementing an AI-powered technology to verify purchases as customers exit the stores, eliminating the need for physical receipt checks. This technology, already deployed in 120 locations, aims to enhance shopping convenience and efficiency. Integrated with the Scan and Go app, it streamlines the checkout process by scanning items in shoppers' carts and comparing them to their orders. The initiative reflects a broader trend in retailers leveraging AI to improve customer experiences. So yeah, now you're not going to have that person asking for your receipt at the door and they look through and check. Now they've got these kind of big blue threshold. No, they're not thresholds. What am I saying? These big blue gates that you walk through, and AI will determine if you've got anything extra in your cart. Well, let's think about the implications of this. If that's the case, we can safely assume that they're using AI then throughout the store to monitor you from the moment you walk into the store till the moment you leave the store. And there can be a lot of data with this, right? Number one, they can link it to you. They know, okay, well, this is Tom is walking through the Sam's Club. I don't know if we have a Sam's Club here in Portland. I'm not aware of one. Maybe we do. Don't know. But Tom walks in. He's got his phone, right? We got access to that because, of course, they do. You know, they're tracking you. You probably got your Sam's Club app, and you got your Sam's Club card on your Sam's Club app, and you show it when you walk in the door, right? Now they're following me around the store. They can check out and see, hey, what kind of displays does Tom like? Oh, this kind of display captured my attention. This other kind of display I just walked by and didn't even look at. That could be helpful information to make more eye-catching displays or how to target me individually more. I mean, the sky's the limit on all of this. So it's not just that they're comparing what's in your cart with what you paid for. What they're doing is they're looking at all of your behavior in the store. And they can figure out, should we rearrange where the products are? You know? If I pick up an item and I examine it, now they know, oh, you know, Tom picked up this, I don't know, this toaster, for example. Now we know that Tom is in the market for a new toaster. We can send him ads. We can make sure that he gets fed some ads in his social media feed about all the great toasters they have at Sam's Club. Yeah. And you may think, Tom, this sounds like a dystopian nightmare. Yes. Yes, it is. It is. That's my prediction. Now, none of this has come out, but that is my prediction right now, is that Sam's Club is tracking you the entire time you're in their Sam's Club, and they're using that information to target you for ads and also to market to you in a way that might be more efficient, make more money. Yeah. And probably a couple years from now, you'll actually find out that what I said today is 100% true. And if they're not doing that, why are they not doing that? Of course they should be doing that. If they have that capability, which clearly they do, if they're running AI from what you put in your cart to what you pay for, then they're tracking your behavior through the entire store. They know what you're into. They know what you're looking for. And now they can try and sell you even better. So I guess that's the good news of the day, everyone. No need to think for yourself. AI is going to figure out what you're into, and they're just going to serve it up to you. So good luck with that. Anyway, that's all I have prepared for today. Stick around for the after show. I will be going through your comments and talking about, again, the big idea of the day, which is, you know, this spoiler pledge that RFK Jr. made. I think it is a big idea. And I will also then compare it to maybe some other ways that we could do elections that you wouldn't have to come up with something like this. Anyway, that's all I have right now. Stick around for the after show. I'll be back on Friday. Hope to see you then. Peace. So let's check out the chat here. And I need to get, where's the Rumble chat? Let's add that. Boom, there we go. Nice. Gonzo the Good checking in the live chat in Rumble. Oh, you know what I got to do here? I got to change this top chat to live chat. It makes things a little better there. Okay. Gonzo the Good. What's up? Big Idea Wednesday. Glad I can catch you live on my drive home. Nice. There are many cases where teachers get the crap beat out of them by teens who have their phones taken away during class. I'm not sure if it's due to phone addiction or low impulse control. Teens, yeah. And lastly, Sam's Club also sell that data to other advertisers outside of Sam's Club. But of course they would. Why wouldn't they? This is a new revenue stream for Sam's Club. They can now sell your data. Now, I remember there was something back in the day. It was, what was the app where you would check in at different places? I actually did this. I thought it was kind of fun, and I didn't, back when I was a lot more naive to this data tracking thing, where you could become like the mayor of your coffee shop or whatever because you checked in every day. It was Foursquare, and then they had something else with, it wasn't Foursquare, it was, I forget what it was. But you could check in at different locations. and then was like, oh, you've checked in 8 times here and whatnot. I forget what the app was. It's gone now. The app doesn't exist anymore. But one of the ideas with that app is you give them location data. You're sharing your location data. So, for example, if you were to check in a store, they might be able to track where you were in that store. And then they would be able to know, like, oh, in the southwest corner of the store, you spent a lot of time. You're interested in what's going on at that part of the store. So that was an early version of, I think, this kind of advanced AI that's going on now. What was that called, though? It was Foursquare. Foursquare was one, but I can't remember what the other one was. Don't know. Anyway, what's up, Lucid, Natasha? Nice to see everybody. Make paper ballots great again. Yeah, I'm all pro paper ballot. Trump by a landslide. That's what it's looking like right now, but we are many months away. So who knows what's going to happen between now and then. I like this news. I hope Biden drops out. It'll be interesting to see if he even makes it. If he even makes it to the election. He doesn't look very good anytime you see him. Ambulance, they're coming to take you away. Haha. Yeah. Apparently my sound cut off for just a second. Perhaps it did. I'll have to listen to the playback. Not sure what was going on there. Tom, I would probably not have heard about the no spoiler pledge if I hadn't heard it from you. Keep going, Tom. Thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate the encouragement. This no spoiler pledge actually just happened today. It just happened like a couple hours ago. And so this is pretty much breaking news. I do like the idea, and I do think it will be interesting to see if it is reported on. Right? My initial take would be that it probably isn't really going to be reported on. That would be my guess. But if it is reported on, maybe it will then be twisted to say something that it's not saying. I don't know. One of the things with the spoiler pledge, what we could do, right? We have this first past the post system here in the U.S., which means, you get 50% plus 1, you win type of thing. And that's not even the case in the Electoral College, right? We've got this kind of odd system, Electoral College. But, ranked choice voting would be great in, say, a 3-way race. That way you could rank the people the way you wanted to. So maybe you could do Kennedy first, then Trump, then Biden, or whatever it may be. And the way that works is they will look at everyone's first choice and see if there's a winner. And if there's not a winner based on the first round of voting, then whoever's in last place gets dropped out. Okay? And then they do it again. I think that's a rough approximation of how it works. It's a tad more complicated than that. But the idea being that you really could set up a system so that you could rank your choice in who you wanted to win, and that way you could vote for maybe a third party without fear that who you really didn't want to win would win. Anyway. Let's see. Would Kennedy have the advantage of the if there were some cheating? That's the one advantage that someone may have. Just put it that way. I think the as of right now, I really don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I made a prediction a year ago that they'd pull Biden and they'd replace him with Newsom. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I think, yeah, and it will really all depend on how the media treats Kennedy. If the media covers Kennedy, I think we'll have a totally different outcome than if the media does what it's doing right now and pretty much doesn't even tell you that he exists or that he's running. And in all of the news, you just give a matchup between Trump and Biden. So I think that's going to make a huge difference. But we're so far out, I really don't know what's going to happen. I do think that for Trump to win, he's going to have to be up by a pretty good margin, because if he's not up by a big margin, I think it's going to be hard to trust the results, even if they are 100% legitimate, right? Which we know they're always 100% legitimate. Yeah. Let's see. Tom, it's okay to step on someone's unrealistic dreams. Artists. Look, I have empathy for anybody that gets duped by a big corporation or a big or advertising or marketing. I have myself, and I have a lot of empathy for that. To me, it just looks like a buying votes scheme. According to Ellen Derrill, student loan write-off is theft, but it's nothing new. The government has been printing money for hell knows how long. Last I heard, $1 trillion every 100 days. Clown world. Yeah. And it gets worse when we do things like, write up some kind of deal that we're going to be sending money to Ukraine. I think the latest thing is that they were going to try to put in a 10-year guarantee of funding Ukraine, and that somehow the next president would not have the authority to stop that funding. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. I don't know how that's legal, but then again, I don't know how half the stuff they do is legal. But yeah, if it's $1 trillion every 100 days today, right? That's $10 billion a day, right? Oh, is that 10 bill a day? 10 billion times 100, right? That'd be a trillion. Yeah, 10 billions a day, 10 billion a day of extra debt. Crazy. So you figure, well, what's another couple billion, right? Well, if that's the case, why do we even pay taxes, right? Just say, no, nobody pays taxes anymore, because, I mean, we'll just print your taxes and give it back to you or something. I don't know. Smartphones are bad for humans in general. I found myself doom scrolling countless times. Facebook and Instagram are now the same, a wall of random images and videos I've never subscribed to. Yeah, I don't have those on my phone anymore. In fact, I do want to make some videos about changing your phone and exactly how you can be tracked with your phone. You got to figure out the best way to talk about that. Because I'm sure, they can maybe bury this channel even more than they bury it already. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of bad diets, how's carnivore going for you, Tom? I'm doing great. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling good about that. In fact, that's why I look a whole lot worse, because I got rid of my beard. I just trimmed up my beard to just a little bit here. because I wanted to see the shape of my face. Now, one of the things, like at least for me, we all have one place that when we lose weight, it's the last thing we lose, right? So it's like I got abs coming in, and yet still I got all this chipmunk fat around my big Charlie Brown face. But I just wanted to at least see my face a little bit more and see how it's looking with the weight loss. So thanks for asking on that. Let's see what else. Your local Walmart has a health center. Well, apparently, Doug, that health center might be going away. That's the news today. Lucid says, I don't do Walmart. They don't do Apple Pay. Yeah, okay. We all got our different way of paying. Is that like an airport scanner? No, I don't think it's doing any. I don't think it's a metal detector or anything like that. Although I don't even know what the scanner is. In fact, the big blue archway, or not archway, a doorway that you walk through, there may be nothing there. It just may be symbolic. Who knows? It'd be interesting to check out. And in fact, I should just see, is there, let's see, Sam's Club near me? I'm just wondering if there's any. Okay, showing results for Portland. See, nothing. Let's see if I can. So maybe there's none here. Let me search on Google. Maybe, oh, that's Sam's Place. Apparently we've got a place of worship called Sam's Place. Well, that's not Sam's Club. Sam's Club. It's telling me that we got a Sam's Hollywood Billiards in Costco. Okay, let me back. So it looks like there's some Sam's Clubs up in Washington. Oh, they say permanently closed. Permanently closed. So I guess no Sam's Clubs in Washington either. We'll zoom out even more. Let's see. We'll zoom out even more. So it looks like in Montana has some Montana and California and Nevada. And looks like there's one in is that in Idaho? Yeah. So it looks like the closest one to me is in Montana or in California. So not around here. Foursquare, yeah, I think it was Foursquare was the app, but I thought there was another one that was like an offshoot of Foursquare that, but I don't remember. It's funny, you know, you used to have something that you used and you don't use it for a while and it's just like out of your mind. Let's see. Imagine getting cancer treatment ads before knowing you had cancer. Well, that's possible. And I guess in many ways, you know, early treatment, that's what you want. You want early treatment, you know, so early diagnosis. So, you know, there might be some good that can come from that type of thing. Natasha talking about the carnivore diet. Standard American diet, sad, has produced a nation full of fat asses. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think what I'm eating is probably the best any long term, and I'm not recommending it to anyone else. It's just something that I am doing. Obviously, it's probably better than eating a bunch of processed food, but I can't recommend it. I'm not making any recommendations for anyone else. Ranked choice voting can give people more of a reason to vote In many states, the outcome is so decided that voting doesn't make a difference. Voicing a first and second choice may help turnout. I agree. That's Ox is saying that. I think it would really help turnout. They can't block the next Congress funding. Congress makes their own rules, and they can also change their rules, like the debt ceiling. They just give themselves excuses to blame each other. Pretty much. That's how I agree. Swarm. That's what it is. Thank you, Lucid. Yes, it was called Swarm. It was an offshoot of Foursquare. And you could really check in different places, and you could become the mayor of that place. And they also integrated it with, so like if there was a store you went to a lot, then they could then send you coupons for that store, give you special deals or special prices. It was an interesting app. I don't know. It probably just got bought out. I thought it was an interesting idea, though, and I don't see why it would go away. Right? People love giving their information, their data away for free. So why would you end the app? But thanks for reminding me of that, Lucid. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And I hope to see you on Friday. If you like the show, please hit the thumbs up button. And I will be back. Have a good one. Until then, peace.